What is up, YouTube, and welcome to this Guardians of the Galaxy video, or Volume 2 video, that is. So welcome, people. If you're new to the channel, please do click that subscribe. If you're enjoying the video, please do click a like, and of course, as well, please do click that bell button if you are already a subscriber so you can get them notifications. So welcome. So I absolutely loved Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I thought it was a superb addition to the MCU. In some places, I thought it was better than the original. I had a lot of fun watching it, which is a nice relief from a lot of the serious comic book movies out there at the moment. But that is not to detract from them. It was just nice to have a really fun script, a really righteous romp. So in my other video, my review, I covered a few of the Easter eggs, but I like to go into them a bit more detail now the actual film has come out in America. So let's take a look. So Drax is one of the best scene stealers in this movie by far, and his kind of brazen attempt at taking down the huge monster at the start, which is actually a monster from the Cancerverse, which is created, or a rift is created there between the Kree and Shi'ar war, which is a huge thing in and on itself there. But the shot of him actually flying into the monster when he was like, I'm going to go inside and kill it because it's softer on the inside, everyone was like, that's stupid, man. It's actually from the Annihilation storyline in the comic books, which is a great read. It's like kind of the origin story somewhat of this modern version of the Guardians of the Galaxy. Now we've got Ayesha, who is a very interesting character, to be honest, because really she was created in the image of Adam Warlock, but more on him later. So Ayesha was created here, and it's interesting that she is leading the Sovereign, a bunch of douchebag a-holes, according to Rocket Raccoon, and I loved the fact that they think they're so perfect that they can't even go into battle. They have to use like some arcade machines, which is very 80s. The sounds, etc., were very reminiscent of those arcades like Galaga, etc. of the time. So it was really cool seeing Ayesha here. Kind of surprised when it was announced that she would be the villain, because she turned out to be pretty good and was created in a similar fashion, I would say personally, to Captain Marvel, which is going to be coming out in a few years' time. And I'm surprised that she's not actually going to be in Avengers Infinity War. But you know what? Things can surprise us, can't they? I expect a probably cameo. But she is here playing the villain. And she's very much the Adam and Eve version here. Because obviously you had Adam Warlock, Adam, and you had her. So him and her there as well. But she turns out that she's actually going to create Adam Warlock. So we've got Ego the Living Planet, played by Kurt Russell, who was superb in this role. Albeit I didn't really like the reveal at the end that he actually killed Peter Quill's mother. I didn't like that personally. I thought he built up so long how much he loved her, and then he put a tumour in her head, which I think is a bit very evil when you think of it. Not only is he killing his love, but he is actually killing her in a very bad way, as we saw her in the first film. At the start, she was slowly dying, and, well, if you love someone, you're not going to give them a huge wasting disease like that, are you? But he is a Celestial, which is a huge thing, and we saw Celestials in the first film when we saw the Infinity Stones origins be created or explained by the Collector. So we had Taserface, which was one of my favourite parts of this movie. I thought it was hilarious, his back and forth with Rocket Raccoon as they discuss, well, the matters of being called Taserface. Is it bad or is it good? But he is actually a member of the race of the Starks, which is a very weird and convoluted and very interesting way where the cable of Stark technology landed on a planet, and then they become, well, the Stark race, and he is one of them, which is really funny, and he's now a Ravager. One of the planets they actually land on is Contraxia, which is the snowy planet we see on the part where they see the brothel, we see the scene where the Ravagers are going mad, and then we actually see Stackart Accord, Sylvester Stallone's character, come in and pretty much is like, "You're not friends with me after all this time," which is an interesting thing because they were both in Cliffhanger. So Michael Rooker was in Cliffhanger with Sylvester Stallone, and he says, "After all this time." So maybe that is a double-layered Easter egg there. So the planet the Guardians actually land on after being destroyed by the Sovereign forces, they actually land on Berhurt, which is another planet which actually has a huge thing to do with the Incredible Hulk, where he landed on there back in the comics as well. So some pretty deep cut Easter eggs here, especially with Contraxia and Berhurt. So obviously we see when the misfit ragtag bunch of Rocket Raccoon and Yondu and the rest are put together and they have to escape, they actually go to Ego and they actually discover the Watchers, which is completely insane there, which the Watchers are the people who watch over every event in the Marvel Universe, and one of them is actually Uatu, the Watcher, who apparently wasn't featured in this little clip. And it's interesting because these are the Fox Marvel rights. These are Fox characters, or they're more likely the Fantastic Four characters, which is leading credence to a very popular theory that the characters of the Fox Marvel movie rights are coming back and have been secretly bought, which I am increasingly thinking is actually possible. So we see Stackart Accord, who is here as, well, he is Starhawk, and he is one of the original members of the Guardians of the Galaxy in the 31st century, which is pretty awesome as well. And at the end, in the post-credits scenes, we see them unite together, and weirdly we see Mainframe, the little robot head at the bottom, on the sofa, and that is played by Miley Cyrus. And we see as well Charlie 27, which is madness as well. We also see Michelle Yeoh play another character, and we have another future Sorcerer Supreme member of the Guardians of the Galaxy as well. But the big thing in the post-credits for me was easily Adam Warlock, who is a rival of Thanos in the Infinity Gauntlet, and is the person who unites all of the heroes of Earth to take on Thanos and stop his, well, being a dick, basically, and wanting to wipe out a lot of people. So it's cool seeing Adam Warlock at the end. Apparently he's not going to be in Infinity War, which I find weird. I think he should be included in there. This is 2014, so we've got quite a few years to move forward until Infinity War. So Infinity War is probably going to be set in the year that the film actually comes out. So this is just a few months after Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. So it does give us a few years for him to actually be created. So again, we see Howard the Duck voiced by Seth Green, which is crazy. I didn't really like I think it was a bit of a weak sort of Easter egg at the end. I didn't really like it personally, but a lot of people did, so I'm happy for all those people. And it was cool seeing him again in the film on Contraxia, just for the fact that it was a continuity thing there. Next up, we had Eternity, which we see Peter Quill have his eyes turned into galaxies and stars, which he just says Eternity, which is actually a being in the universe here in Marvel Comics, and has been a big player, funnily enough, in the recent comics at the moment with Ultimates 2 and all that business going on there. And we also briefly see, if you remember my review, I wasn't sure who these people actually were. I wasn't sure, because we see a brief part of two people fighting when they make those 900 or odd jumps. And it's actually the race of the people in Thor. When he kills that rock people, he destroys them. And it's the same, and Taika Waititi, who's going to be in Thor Ragnarok, is actually playing one of those characters. If you remember as well, on the planet, on Earth even, we had one of the little plants placed by Ego. But funnily enough, it was weird that by the end we didn't actually see any Avengers or any Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. try and fix this or have a cameo there, which I thought was a bit of a shame, to be honest. but we actually see Peter Quill's grandfather aged up there as well. As well, we see insane, we actually see Pac-Man, so Peter Quill could turn into anything, and he turns into Pac-Man, which is a staple of the 80s, to be honest. We also see the Troll Doll as well from Yondu, which we saw right at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1, and now in Volume 2, we see he still actually has it. As well, moving back onto Yondu as well, he has his huge fin, he has the prototype fin, where he looks more like the comics again as well. We also see a Zune, which I thought was absolutely hilarious, because the Zune, it looked pretty good, like, by all rights, the technical aspects, the thing worked pretty well. It's just the take-up, it was Microsoft trying to take on the iPod, which didn't work at all, to be honest. Now, weirdly, at the end credits, we see Cosmo the space dog, who is included in the 2008, or the modern version of Guardians of the Galaxy. He is a speaking dog, which I thought was really huge thing in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1, but we actually see a portrait of him, which is really strange, and I can't help but think that this is a big Easter egg. There's more to be uncovered in this, to be honest. And finally, we see Jeff Goldblum's character dancing in the credits, which is so weird, considering he's supposed to be sort of not a bad guy or whatever. He's just, I don't know what he's supposed to be in Thor Ragnarok, but it's weird to see him dancing in the credits of this film, which is strange considering he wasn't even mentioned. But that is it for this video. Please do drop a like, please do subscribe, and I'll see you soon, and goodbye.